Hello and welcome to another video here. We have my lovely Corsair case right here, and we have an Intel i7-1155 socket CPU here, system that currently has a 7970 in it, and we're going to be swapping that out for the new 980 Ti I've recently purchased. Main purpose of this upgrade is to be able to play The Witcher 3 at on high resolution monitors such as 2560 by 1440p monitors, and I'm hoping my future monitor, which will have a whopping 3440 pixels by 1440 pixels, which is an ultra wide screen 21 by 9 monitor. I want to get one that has the G-Sync module built in. There's a model coming out from Acer and from Asus that does 75 Hz on an IPS panel. That's got my name written all over it, hopefully, assuming I can save up some dollars and afford a monitor that is probably going to be in the price range of about $1,600 to $1,800 Canadian. I'm hoping it's not too grand. That would really hurt the wallet. Anyways, without further ado, let's get this card in this case. First things first, there's plastic all over this bad boy. We gotta take off. We can't do anything more. Goodbye plastic. Always check on the back plate. Got more plastic. You don't want to cook that onto there. You have this little protector you can take off, PCI slot. I'm going to leave the SLI one on because I'm not planning to use the SLI. I don't think, no, there's no further plastic on this guy. Alright, now let's get the old out of here. We might want to take off these screws. I think the last time I put them on I used a screwdriver, so it kind of defeated the point of them being thumb screws. Usually when I'm taking apart my computer I have a magnetic tray to keep all the screws, but we're not going to be doing too immense of a dissection today. The side panel in this case just pops right out. Now this is a bit older 7970 I've used for a number of years. I even RMA'd this 1 2GB once because I believe it was this last fan here kicked the bucket and it was rattling, making all sorts of racket. It's been a good card. It still runs really good. Plays games like Battlefield 4 like nothing, but some of this new generation of games like GTA 5 and Witcher 3, it's getting to be not a super performer, especially on Ultra HD or near Ultra HD displays. 1080p, this is an amazing card, but it's starting to feel like, hey, could use a little bit more VRAM, could use some DX12 coming out here, like Windows 10, man. Aren't you pumped? I sort of am. I'm still kind of hesitant after being burned so many times by Microsoft. Windows Vista, Windows 8, Windows Millennium Edition. Oh, they sure know how to pick winners. But if the cadence rings true here, every second version of Windows is a good one. Well, maybe we'll have something in store with Windows 10. Alright, got some more screws here. All thumb screws on this case, but honestly, I think he's my screwdriver. I like them on here tight. I have soft computer geek hands. They can't handle these screws, these thumb screws. They rip up my gentle skin. I used to live out in the country, and back in the day, I used to have pretty calloused hands. That is no longer the case. And we're back. I ran out of space on my memory card, but yeah. Anyways, so we have the 7970 by Gigabyte, and I have taken it out of the case here. And this is something I didn't really check out ahead of time. Something you might want to check is how big are the video cards you're taking in and putting out? Anyways, they appear to be roughly the same length. I think if I got a measuring tape out, the PCB is the exact same length. This one does not have a back plate, the Gigabyte. This one does thickness-wise, let's see here. The 980 is thicker, so it's going to be closer to the side of the case, but it's vented, so that shouldn't be a problem. Anyways, as you can see, I now have my laptop out here. I had to transfer some of the files off. Been taking a few too many videos and photos, you know. Anyways, so without further ado, let's get this card in the case. First of all, let's check. Yeah, we got 6-pin with 8-pin, the 2 little extra 8 pins. This card takes an 8-pin and a 6-pin. So it does come with adapters if you don't have the right connectors here, but we do. I have a TX650 power supply from Corsair. I've used it in a couple systems, but you know, power supplies tend to last quite a while, so that's one thing I always recommend is invest in a good power supply. Alrighty, so generally when you're working with mini ITX cases, you want to plug in the PCI power connections before you try to get the card in the case. That is my suggestion to you. Click. And click. Work those cables back in there. Let's see how much. Oh, it's cooperating so far. It's a pretty tight case to get a video card into. Stand up here. And click. Oh, no click, but she's in. She's in, and she's in nicely. All right, that looks good. Just gotta get some screws in place, and yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. You can see this card is not advisable for most mini ITX cases, especially the smaller variety. This is a larger form factor of the range of the ITX systems. It has a lot of length. It has parts that are removable. It is closer to the footprint you might see of, say, MATX case. It is quite wide. It is not too long. The biggest difference between an MATX case and this one is you have things like the motherboard mounted on top of where your power supply sits. And this one doesn't have, like, say, like the fractal node where you have the power cord, the power supply in the front and a cord going to the back for your power. It at least has the power supply mounted there, so it's venting behind, like most people like. But it does leave some decent room for a fairly large cooler. I have a Noctua cooler. Sorry, I don't remember which one. It's one of the top mounted ones. It's a bit larger. It only has one fan here on the top, one fairly large fan. I think it's about 140, I'm gonna guess. Yeah, I think it's a 140 mil fan. Anyways, let's get these panels on here. This case features window on the top. Yeah, very easy to work on case here. There's a window on the side, or sorry, a vented side, not a window. You can still see through it, but you're really not going to see the graphics card. It is filtered, which is important when you're pushing or pulling air through here. It's going to catch all that dust, but that also means you need to clean it. So it's important that you take care of your PC. Clean it out, guys. Don't want to see no dirty PCs around here. I deal with enough of those at work. Anyways, guys can, you know, just hit the subscribe button and you can stop watching anytime here. I'm just going to finish putting my computer back together. Yeah, so I'm going to play some Witcher 3 with this bad boy. Got to get a new monitor. Right now I'm in the process of tearing apart my office, and so we're in the garage right now, if you've noticed, and I don't even have a gaming computer desk area set up, so I'm going to plug this into my TV for now, I think. Anyways, happy gaming, guys, and you know, tune in next time whenever I bother to upload a video.